Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you are having an amazing end to your week. This is the last week to join the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind. So I'm going live today to talk about all the cool things that you get when you are inside the mastermind, explain a little bit about the benefits that you get if you join now, because there are a couple of bonuses, and answer any of your questions live. So if you've got questions, put them in the chat. If you do not have questions, or if you don't feel comfortable asking them live, if you don't have questions, go ahead and use the link in my bio to either book a consultation or you can sign up right away. And if you do have questions that you don't want to ask in front of everybody, I totally get that. So feel free to DM me and I can send over the answers to your personalized questions as well. So, when the thing that I've gotten a lot of questions for, actually, one of the things that's been really interesting is I've been doing some consults lately with a lot of different business owners. So, I kind of want to clarify who this mastermind is for and what it's designed to do. So, within the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind, what I am changing this program to be for a little bit. When I first created this program, I was really focusing on just building systems. That's why it was called Six-Figure Systems and Scaling Systems earlier this past year. And the reason why I changed the name to Six-Figure Scaling is I really wanted to change the purpose of this program. So this program is not necessarily just designed to help you sign just a few clients anymore. That's what it used to be about, just bringing in a few people, making sure you were consistently signing people. But now I really want to make this mastermind about people who are serious about their businesses, most likely have a desire to go full time in their business, or want to make 100K at the minimum within their business. So it's a little bit more serious. The content is more focused on creating and building a really scalable business that is something that you are really going through and want to be a large piece of your contribution, not necessarily just a side hustle. That's kind of what Five Figure Foundation is designed to do, is it's designed to create a solid side hustle. This is more for people who are like, I either am already full-time or I desire going full-time within my business, and I want the strategy to be able to hit six figures, not just within 1 year, but hit it consistently. So for me, if you are thinking about really building a strong six-figure business, this would be the lane in the umbrella of what is now the Solopreneur Academy. There are two different tracks. There's Five Figure Foundation, designed to help you sign your first or next client, and also designed to help you make your first 10K. So it's definitely for people who are more like, I want to just have a solid side hustle. I want to do something part-time that is fulfilling, but definitely not my full-time gig. Versus six-figure scaling is about people who want this to be their full-time experience. They want to make a really substantial primary income from their business, not just like a secondary income stream, but they want it to be a primary income stream, which is why they want to go and do this full time and hit six figures within their businesses. So that's what the Six-Figure Mastermind is now designed to do, because that has shifted over the past few years. In order to hit six figures consistently every single year, you need to be signing around 2 to 3 high ticket clients a month. If you are like, okay, I know that I'm not there, that's what this mastermind is designed to do. It's designed to say, hey, if you aren't there, that's totally fine. There are so many ways to make it really sustainable and actually create a strategy that works for your unique business to get you those numbers of clients. What my goal is for everyone in the mastermind is that they're getting enough consults. Everyone has a different kind of conversion rate, but around a consult a week, they're booking around 4 consultations a month so that they can sign at least 2 clients a month. The goal from there is that they're not only consistently signing clients, which is what the premise of the mastermind used to be, The premise is now that your goal is to get fully booked. So if that is something that you want to do, this is a really great mastermind for you if you want to fill up your entire schedule. The other thing that we do within the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind is you're going to go through and not only get fully booked, which is a great place to start, but my goal is that you drive demand for your offer by creating really good social media posts. You're showcasing these clients' results, whether it's anonymously or you're actually developing testimonials. You're getting intellectual property that people demand, and then you have the client flow to warrant raising your prices. Because then that's the next piece. If you want to make six figures and you want to scale, you do want to have a contrast between your one-on-one and your if you do decide to do a group, you want to have a contrast of the price between your one-on-one and your group offer that makes it a delineator so that people can say, oh, I want one-on-one support. It is more expensive, but I can see the value in this. And that's what you're doing with these one-on-one clients. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going through, you're going to be bringing in these clients, you're going to be creating case studies that build up your clout and credibility. And then my goal is that you raise your prices. Sometimes that is after you become fully booked and you have a wait list. Other times it's when you you might not be fully booked yet, but you're seeing that your pricing is like so fantastic that you feel comfortable and confident to raise your prices. That's my goal. So what you do is then you're going to raise the price for your one-on-one offer. You're going to make it something that is competitive for your market, but you're not going to make it something like, I don't want you being like, okay, I can charge 50K if there isn't a market demand for that and there isn't a audience base that fits that need. If there is, great, but if not, I would rather you focus on bringing clients consistently and getting fully booked at so that not necessarily is like the 50K is unreasonable, but I want it to be something that feels like a no-brainer for your audience so you're getting sales consistently. I want you building up your income so that you have a cash reserve that then you can utilize to scale later. So then once you have built up these clients, once you raise your prices and you create demand for your offer, in the mastermind we call it your six-figure offer. And what we're doing is we take the intangible benefits of working with you and we create core pillars. This is where you actually also name your program, even if you are a one-on-one coach. So the demand also built because I created intellectual property IP around the tools, the resources, and the systems that I had created for my clients, for lack of better words. I was able to go in and then raise my rates because the systems and the tools and the resources I had were working so well. So the other thing that you do within the mastermind is you create signature processes that make you stand out in your industry, which helps you to raise your prices later. So for me, when I was just Megan Wing coaching and just doing general coaching for, at the time it was 10 months, but then it changed to 6 months, I was doing well. Like people were still signing up, but it was based on knowing me, Megan Wing, as a person versus knowing the results that I get and letting those speak for themselves. So when I switched my name to the Career Fulfillment Initiative, it created demand because people were seeking career fulfillment, not just working with me as their coach. So that's what we do within the mastermind. You create this credibility, you create signature processes, and that's what makes you stand out. For me, there were so many other career coaches out there, and a lot of them were talking about how to do LinkedIn and how to do resumes, which are great. If you're a career coach and you do that, we can talk about it. And I was speaking about overall career fulfillment from a holistic life kind of perspective. And I had signature processes around my core pillars, which were time management, burnout, confidence, work-life balance, and long-term planning. And that's what made me so successful one of the 5 components that made me successful is having that really strong offer and having the core pillars to support it. Think about it like if you were selling a fridge. I was actually giving this analogy to a client this week. If you're selling a fridge, you don't just want to sell your fridge based on one parameter of like it's cold. You know what I mean? You want to be able to sell your offer with a lot of different selling points, and you want to be speaking to different benefits of working with you. For instance, you can say the fridge is cold, it's got a good organization elements, it's got a freezer, it's got an ice maker, it's got a water filter. All those things are things that make your offer compelling. When you have multiple pillars to support your service, what happens is then people want to buy it. You create a strong sales pitch because you're like, yeah, this is an amazing feature. These are amazing things that I do. And it creates more people wanting what you have to offer. So that's what we do within the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind is you first and foremost talk through what your six-figure offer is. That you then create a signature six-figure offer, you raise your prices, and then get fully booked. And then you can create a wait list that will end up starting and creating demand for eventually a group. The reason why it's called six-figure scaling is to have a scalable offer. That means that you need to stop trading your time for money, and instead of just doing one-on-one coaching or one-on-one service providing, this is when you branch out and then you create demand for a group offer. When you have a group offer, the cool part about that is that it doesn't necessarily take less time because you typically do charge less, and it is something that you end up having to do a lot more lead generation for. We'll talk about that in a second. But what happens is you need to create something that is compelling that you could teach to multiple people. You need to be able to overcome the objection of time, because a lot of times people will be like, well, I can't meet at this exact time. So you need to be able to be like, you don't even have to meet at this time because I've got modules, I've got tools that you can use outside of the calls that you can get results with even without working with me individually. And that's what we do in the mastermind is you create that intellectual property. You do that with your one-on-one clients first. So you're getting really great results for them. You're working with them and you're creating resources, tools. These are things that you also use in your marketing. We'll talk about that in a second. But those are the things that make the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind something that's different, that makes it different than 5-Figure Foundation as well, is if you do want to have a group, if you want your service business to be your full-time gig, you need to be bringing in 2 clients a month. You need to be bringing in around 4 consults a month. And the first thing that we do to make that possible is you get your offer lined up. You have very specific parameters, and then you also create signature processes that get people excited about what you do. They learn more about what you do. You're posting client testimonials, so it creates this up wave of demand for you and your offer, which makes it a lot easier to hit 6 figures. But that's just the first component of the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind, is creating that 6-figure offer. The second thing that you do within the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind to make it so that you hit 6 figures, again, not just this year, but every year following, that's different than the foundation, is you learn how to write copy, but you also learn how to write advanced copy. This is something that is new to the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind, and it's something that I updated with the curriculum just this spring. So it's very new to the program, and I'm going to tell you why it works so well. So what happens is when you are thinking about building up demand for your offer online, if you are thinking about creating a presence, you need to have a strong billboard marketing sense. So you need to be getting your posts out consistently, regardless of whether you want to make 10 or 100K, you got to be getting some posts out. So I teach you the foundational elements of just getting a post out consistently, building know, like, and trust with your audience, and that includes only posting 3 times a week. But in the mastermind, instead of just doing the basic know, like, and trust for cold, warm, and hot leads, you learn advanced copywriting. This copywriting, the goal is of marketing in 5-figure foundation is to just create consistency, have a billboard, something that's going out there that shows that you're relevant for either your current network and audience, which might be friends and family. It could be some business owners that you're following that you're wanting to collaborate with, and potentially some new followers. But in 6-figure scaling, the mastermind does focus on using and optimizing what is called organic SEO, organic being free, SEO being search engine optimization. So what you do in the mastermind is our goal is to actually get you more followers on social media that are new people that are in your audience. We want you actually, it's a vanity metric. My goal isn't to be focusing entirely on that, but you don't want to just be sitting at the same follower rate. That means that your content isn't reaching new people. You want to be reaching new people and bringing in new leads with your copy, which is the words that you write for your captions and your posts. And that's what we do within the mastermind. You have to write copy in a really specific way. And something that's going to be coming to the mastermind in the fall is doing ads. So we're going to be talking about, again, this is why this is like a very different program than it used to be, is you are going to be doing copy, writing captions that compel people enough that you could utilize it if you wanted to for ads. So we talk about organic SEO, which means free social media marketing. You're going to be doing your posts in a free manner. You're going to be getting those things out every single week, getting better at writing it. And then when you see, oh, I do have posts that are landing with a lot of people. Recently, me talking about maternity leave has popped off. Like, it is doing really well within my social media. So within the 6-figure scaling mastermind, what we do is we take and emphasize, we learn what things do really well for your content organically, which is free. And then we double down on it. And what we're going to be doing in the fall, which is why this program is very different than it has been in the past, is we're going to be talking about how to use paid marketing if you want to build your audience as well. And we're going to be talking about, in just a second, I'll explain about like utilizing webinars and things like that to grow your audience. But that is something that we do within the mastermind, is you learn how to write content, and that's actually really compelling, that's stronger. And there are 4 phases of content that you do within the 6-figure scaling mastermind that's different than in 5-figure foundation. So in 5-figure foundation, you just learn the 3 basic types of posts: cold, warm, and hot. Get it out there, post and schedule it, don't worry about it, but your social media is consistent over the summer, which is already beneficial. Within the 6-figure scaling mastermind, what makes this different is you are able to actually learn how to elevate your copywriting. So you're not just writing cold, warm, and hot posts every week. You take those cold, warm, and hot posts and you do 3 elevated styles of posting called problem aware, solution aware, and agitation. And also, anybody, if you've got questions, put them in the chat. I would love to, I can answer any questions that you have if you need them. But one of the things that sets this program apart is I actually do go over copywriting, advanced copywriting skills and advanced marketing in order for you to be able to set up ads successfully if you wanted to later at a different time. So what you want to do is you're going to learn the different styles of elevated content, and that's the first piece that you do. Then you have another phase of advanced marketing, which is including ideal client avatar types. So we go through, and instead of thinking about Sally, the 34-year-old who loves to get Starbucks, you are very specific about different people and archetypes that would be a good fit for your offer. So like moms, you might have part-time workers, you might have people who are in perimenopause. Depending on your audience, we're going to determine what your 5 ideal archetypes are, and then you're going to write content based on those archetypes' needs. The other thing that's cool about the mastermind, that's a new thing as well, is the 3rd phase of advanced marketing is where you're going to learn how to do ideal client scenarios. You're going to think about, okay, based on my people, what are scenarios that are included in what I call micro moment marketing? And I talk a little bit about that in 5-figure foundation, but we really hone in on what are the problem points that really are the deciding points for somebody to actually book with you. one of the things that we talk about in both programs is building relevancy and urgency. But one of the things that we really focus in on the mastermind is getting people to book consults directly from your content. You really want to get in to a phase where somebody is like, you are speaking to a problem that is a desire, that somebody is like, this is a point that I need to change. Like, I know this has to change. I can't continue living like this. This is a problem. And it's so strong that it actually compels people to book consults. That's what we do with the 5 scenarios. So for people that are like, if you have Sunday scaries to the point that like you feel paralyzed or things like that, what we end up doing is you go in and you create 5 scenarios that are those turning points. You're thinking through, okay, this is a turning point for my audience. What can I do to speak to this situation that they're experiencing in a way that is so compelling and showing them that I can really help them in order for them to book a consultation? So that's what we do within the mastermind. And then the last piece of it is, if you are in the phase where you're like, I'm creating a group offer, I have something that is my intellectual property that I want to speak about, we elevate your content to the 4th level of advanced marketing, which includes program benefits. So we talk about how working with you for 24 sessions, let's say if you're a one-on-one coach for 6 months, we speak to, in your session, you are going to get this, you're going to learn this. And when you have those specific pieces, those 4 stages of advanced marketing, this is where we actually do start to incorporate email lists. So in the mastermind, in the 5-Figure Foundation, we don't talk about email lists. I don't think it's necessary. And I also think it's important to keep your business as lean as possible, where you're not spending money and that's unnecessary. So you don't even need to worry about an email list. If you're just trying to have a part-time gig, make 10K, don't worry about an email list. You don't need it. But if you were in the 6-Figure Scaling Mastermind, this is where we do hit on building your email list. We work on things like freebies. You work on creating compelling content in your emails to actually get people to click, to get people to buy. And that is something that we focus on that's a little bit different than 5-Figure Foundation. From there, so now that's like the marketing side of things. We want to get you more followers. We want to get more people engaging with your posts, and we want to get your email list filling with people and your consults. I want people really, truly, strangers reading your content and booking consults. That's what we focus on in the mastermind, is getting that good at writing copy so that you actually book consults from it. And then you can also utilize it for paid marketing later. Then what we do within the mastermind is, again, if you're trying to get two clients and around 4 consults a month for a high ticket one-on-one offer, you want to also be creating conversations in your inbox. Your inbox will directly and kind of like correlate with your income. So we talk about how to build conversations. Now in 5-Figure Foundation, which is again my low ticket program, the $1,500 for the year, that program is designed to help you just sign your first few clients and make 10K. Once you've done that, you probably have utilized a lot of your network. You've reached out to people. I teach you how to do that in that program. And you've probably built some relationships with people maybe outside of it. I encourage you going to networking events. I encourage you getting out of your sphere and meeting new humans that are in your audience and in your space that are a good fit for your program. However, in the 6-Figure Scaling Mastermind, the 12-month $7,500 program that I have, what you're doing in that program is you are actually talking about how to do advanced lead management. Leads being people, management being like making sure you're continuing conversations with them. So the difference between 5-Figure Foundation and 6-Figure Scaling is, in 5-Figure Foundation, you're really just going in and you're just talking about like, okay, we just need to talk to a few people. It's like a great kind of way to just foster a network that's engaging with you, which is awesome. But what you want to do in 6-Figure Scaling is you actually start tracking those people and tracking those leads. So you go through and you are able to actually really go through and see how long it takes for somebody to convert. Now, also, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I would love to have you. And I can pause at any time. I can ramble forever, and then I can also pause at any time if you guys have any questions. But within the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind, what we do is we actually track and see how long it takes for somebody to go from just a new follower to an actual buyer. You learn how long that conversion time is, and we create a really strong pipeline for you. Within the Five Figure Foundation program, I talk with you about how to just keep a full inbox. So it's just kind of like the basics of lead management. But then in the Six Figure Scaling Mastermind, we are really, really strategic about who you're reaching out to, when you're reaching out to them, and what to say to get you in front of more one-to-many opportunities. So within Five Figure Foundation, you're just talking to people, you're getting to know people, you're signing humans, and it's awesome. Within the Six Figure Scaling Mastermind, we want to do advanced lead generation techniques, which get you speaking engagements, that get you collaborating, that get you in front of people virtually and in front of people in person. That's the difference, because if you're thinking about, okay, I need to bring in at least 2 people a month in order to make 100K. I need to be bringing in 4 consults a month to make this happen. What happens is then you actually are able to go through and say, okay, every single month, I'm going to do a lead generation activity to get more clients in. In fact, what's going on? Oh, brand new to coaching, recently retired teacher. Let's go. We love it. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, I don't know if you know this, but I used to be a teacher. I taught for 6 years, so welcome. Keep you posted if you have any questions about either one of the programs, and I've got you. But within this, when I was building my business, what's great when you're starting and thinking about coaching and starting at the beginning of your business, you just need to be creating conversations with people. You just need to have ways that you're connecting with people. And that's where I think Five Figure Foundation is a great place to start. If you've never DM'd somebody and you feel extremely awkward, I mean, like for me, I was an elementary school teacher. I had no idea how to have like conversations. And the good news is it makes it actually, for me personally, it's just building relationships. It's actually just talking to awesome people like you that are on these lives. And it's just building a relationship, getting to know people. And that's how you sign your first few clients. That's how you're bringing your first or next 10K. But that's what we focus on foundation. But if you want to make $100,000 with a business like a coaching business, you really have to go beyond the actual just like talking to your current network. You're most likely going to, again, unless you have a ginormous audience, which most of my clients have under 1,000 followers, unless you've got a huge audience, you're going to need to meet more people, like at a very large scale, in order for you to continuously bring in consults. So what we do in the mastermind is we talk about, okay, you've brought in a certain number of people, you've got a certain number of clients. Let's do a monthly lead generation activity on top of your lead nurturing activity. We'll talk about lead nurturing activities next. But what you want to do is you want to get in front of more eyes. You want to get in front of more people in order for you to hit 6 figures consistently and beyond 6 figures. So what we do in the mastermind is you learn how to do lead generation events monthly that are outside of your audience. We want to get you in front of new people, meeting more humans, and that's what we do in the mastermind in a really strategic way. So that's the difference between Five Figure Foundation and 6 Figure Scaling. Five Figure Foundation, just about how to get your inbox filled with humans that actually want to work with you. 6 Figure Scaling is like, okay, we want to get in front of bigger audiences to build in a lot of people coming in. And that's why we do the lead generation, advanced lead generation that we do in that program. And actually right now, if you end up joining the mastermind, we are in a speaking engagement challenge that gets people more visibility in Q2. And I'm teaching you 4 different ways that you can go out, meet more people, get more leads. We're talking about getting on podcasts. We're talking about in-person events, virtual events, and how to do collaborative virtual events. And so those are the 4 themes of this week of May. I'm doing a video every single week. They get a worksheet that goes along with it. And then the people that are participating and doing these visibility challenges end up getting a 2-hour VIP call with me. So it's another thing about the mastermind. In Five Figure Foundation, we do challenges, but they're not always as, um, it's not quarterly. For Six Figure Scaling, we do quarterly challenges just to keep you up to date, but we usually talk about more advanced things. So like the Q3 challenge is going to be around making a webinar funnel and potentially even doing ads to that. So it's just a more advanced program. And that's if you're like, okay, do I do the $1,500 5-figure foundation or the $7,500 6-figure scaling? Where do I fit? It's if you want to go full time in your business and if you want to make 100K, 6-figure scaling is for you. If you want to sign a few people, 5-figure foundations for you. So that's the lead management piece, which is like the third component of the core. I call it the 6-figure essentials that's in the mastermind. The fourth of the 6-figure essentials is going through and doing a sales event. So that's another thing that's very different than the mastermind. In foundation, you learn how to do a basic consult call, and that's awesome. In 6-figure scaling, you learn how to do an advanced consult call where we utilize those pillars that we talked about in the 6-figure offer. You actually create a really unique sales process that you bring people through, and you speak about your specific processes that build up the demand, get you more clout and credibility, instead of just saying like, where do you want to be with your confidence in between now and then? And it's like, well, I can definitely help you with that. It's like, you're going to learn the leadership accelerator process, which is my signature process that helps you to get promoted and actually helps you lead your team better. You see how it's just like a little bit more advanced, a little bit more compelling. It's why this is a 6-figure offer. So that's what we do in the mastermind is I teach you how to do advanced consults using your signature process. It just helps you to stand out a lot more. And it also, again, if you want to get fully booked, raise your rates, get a wait list, and then sign up, do a, what's it called? Do a group. There we go, brain. If you want to do a group later, that's what you'd want to do. Now, the other thing that's unique about the mastermind is this program I have designed to do monthly sales events. What that means is you are most likely, you need to get bigger brand awareness. You want to get in front of more people. So this is what I do is I have you actually go through and do webinars. So as a forward teacher, you're going to be teaching live. It's something that is really fun for me to get your intellectual property out there. And I teach you how to do a webinar that speaks to a process that is helpful and gives a tiny transformation for your audience. And then from there, what you do is then you are able to sell people. Instead of doing a one-on-one consult, you learn how to sell one-to-many. And now that's the phase that my business is at fully, because I'm at a scaled phase. I still do consultations. Like if you want to book a consult and find out like how I would actually help you grow your business over the next year, I can definitely do that. But I do a lot of my selling now from webinars. If you're thinking about scaling to multiple 6 figures, this is a skill set that you're going to want to develop. And that's why doing the mastermind, it might be a better fit for you if you know that's where you're going. I just did a podcast with Tracy, who's actually been with me for 3 years, and she's done 18 months of webinars. We've learned so much from it. And now she's setting herself up for a one-to-many offer because she knows how to sell to one-to-many over the past 18 months. Same with Michelle. I think that she's done 16 webinars every single month. So what we did is, the reason why this program is so long is we're testing topics every month that you are going to see which are your top performers, just like we're testing your marketing. Like, what are the top performers? What are people in your audience actually wanting to hear? And then we doubled down on that. So in the mastermind, what you do is you refine your webinar process. I teach you how to, again, this is where the email list comes into play. I teach you how to build an email list. I teach you how to get people to opt in. I teach you how to write a sales sequence before the webinar. I teach you how to write emails for after the webinar, which is what a sales sequence is. So they get emails before, they get emails after. I have templates for you that you customize. And then from there, what you do is you see what gets people booking consults. We test also in that program. I mentioned freebies. We do limited time offers when you do a webinar that says, hey, like right now for the mastermind, if you join the mastermind now, you get 5-Figure Foundation included, 2 programs for the price of 1, and you also get a extra 3 months in both programs. So you have access to me through August of 2027. So it's talking about, learning how to talk about those limited time offers. What are the limited time offers that actually get your people to buy? And also getting people to be genuinely interested in what you have to say. Learning how to pitch live is another skill set that's really important, and you use that with the one-to-many lead generation too when you're speaking in front of groups in person and online. And so those are the things that we end up doing within the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind. So, and the cool thing is I was talking with Michelle, and her podcast is probably going to release in September. But with Michelle, she had never done webinars ever before. She's a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling 5 kids. She also runs a whole other business in her spare time. And so and as like a single mom, one of the things that she knew is she needed to get exposure to her offer. So by doing those 16 webinars, we were able to see what her top performers were. And then in 20 minutes on a live call for the mastermind, we literally went through her whole 2026. We figured out where her top 5 top performers were, and we just plugged them in. We were like, yep, these are all the webinars that you're gonna do for the entirety of the whole year. We planned that out in February, and she's been executing ever since. It's awesome. So then your life is so much easier because you've already got the webinars made, you got the emails done, and then we just refine it. It's like the first time you do it, it's definitely like more challenging. But then once you get better and better at doing it, it just makes it easier, because then you just say, oh, I'm just going to tweak it here versus doing a complete overhaul and starting from scratch. So that's another benefit of the mastermind. Then the last thing that we do is we talk about how to plan like a 6-figure CEO. This is a completely other pillar. So in 5-Figure Foundation, we only go through offer, marketing, managing leads, and sales. Those are the only 4 things that we talk about. But if you really do want to make 6 figures every single year with your business, we add in a 5th pillar for the mastermind called planning. It's very important, especially because I think that around a third of the people that are in the mastermind are actually working full-time, trying to go full-time in their business, but they do have full-time jobs. The other 2/3 are also parents, so they have other responsibilities. We want to make sure that you're using your time like insanely well. That is what we do in the 6-Figure Scaling Mastermind. That's different than 5-Figure Foundation, as I actually have you go out and create your 6-figure formula. So you learn for every consultation that you book. Let's say you book like 1 consult in your first month, and then you book 2, and then you book 3, and then you book 4, and then by September, you're consistently bringing in around 4 consults a month. You've got a pipeline of people. You've got all these leads in your inbox. You're doing in-person speaking events. You're doing online webinars. You've gotten to a bit of a flow. That we would do is we figure out, okay, if it would take 20 clients for you to get fully booked and make 6 figures, and right now you brought in 5 over the past 4 months. You brought in 5 clients in the past 4 months. What we do then is we're like, where the heck did these 5 people come from? Did it come from in-person speaking engagement? Did it come from talking to your audience? Did it come from doing a webinar for your audience and they booked because they had that limited time offer? What were the things that actually made you sign people? And you get this like jazzy rainbow spreadsheet. I have a whole behind the scenes video that's actually, if you go to my link tree, you can see it. But I'll show you like what the rainbow spreadsheet looks like in that video, because I obviously can't share my screen in this. But within that, you actually go through and you figure out, okay, here's how many people I need to talk to. I need to do this many in-person events. I need to do this many webinars. If I do this, I will consistently go from bringing in one client a month to two clients a month to three clients a month. I can predict that I could get fully booked by February of 2027. And you can literally go through and just, yeah, I will send you the link. So within the program, what you want to do, actually, let me make sure. I was like, okay, if I go to a different tab, my Facebook Live doesn't stop. But within there, when you're thinking about building your business and when you're going in and just creating statistical inevitability that, like, okay, I want this to work, I want to make this really, really easy to do. That's what we do within the mastermind is you go through and you actually make it super, super simple so that every single thing that you do within your business, every post that you do, we are analyzing. Every single email that you send, we understand if it's converting. Every single like literally every single thing that you do in your business is done in a way that's very, very, very strategic. It's no guesswork. You are not throwing spaghetti at the wall, especially within the mastermind. We are being very judicious with your time. And I actually, for every person that joins the mastermind, you get a Google folder that I also have access to. So we'll be on the coaching call and I'll be like, okay, I'm pulling up your content calendar for the month of June. Let's test these topics. Okay, what webinars have you done so far? Let's do these topics instead for the next quarter and see which ones convert. Okay, let me pull up your annual plan. We don't have any topics for August through September. What are your ideas for this? And we actually like go through and you choose what those topics are. You get it going, you get it ready to roll. And that's a differentiator between the mastermind and 5-Figure Foundation. 5-Figure Foundation, you still do get a content calendar. I still do look at your content, but it's a lot more just like you just need, if you just want to make 10K with your business, you just need to get consistent. You need to be talking to people. It doesn't need to be like as serious as like, okay, we want to make $100,000. That's 10 times in 10K. That means that we need to be really serious about what you're doing and who you're reaching out to. I still talk to you about in 5-Figure Foundation, I'm still talking to you about creating conversations. I can still help you find networking events that would be a good fit for you, but I don't necessarily in that program, I just want to get people making money. I'm not like we need to drill down in and do like really serious work to look at your numbers. It's just like, can you post consistently? Can you get conversations going consistently? If the answer is yes, we're doing good. You're going to make 10K. That box is checked. If you want to join the 6-Figure Scaling Mastermind, we're like, okay, just posting consistently is so important, especially over the summer. You want to know what you're going to be posting. You want to schedule that stuff out so you can go on trips, you can have your kids in camp, do whatever you want to do. But you also want to be using your time in those one-to-many avenues. So that's where I'm going through, especially if you join before my maternity leave, and I'll talk about that in a second. But if you join before my maternity leave, what I'm doing with everyone in the mastermind that's joining right now is I'm looking at their annual plan. I'm going through and figuring out what kind of things they need to do in June, July, and August to make their businesses set up for success. And then when I'm gone in maternity leave, they're just executing and refining with the coaches that are going to be available. So that is the difference between the two programs within 5-Figure Foundation. Basic offer, basic marketing, basic managing leads, basic sales call. Within 6-Figure Scaling, advanced offer, advanced marketing, advanced lead generation, advanced sales, and advanced planning. So those are the differences between the two programs if you're like oscillating between the two. And obviously there's a price difference. So the 5-Figure Foundation is $1,500 for the year or $167 a month. 6-Figure Scaling is $7,500 for the year or $650 a month. So if you're thinking about that, that can help. Now within there, when you're thinking about with 6-Figure Scaling, the other reason why it's not just because the content is more advanced and that's why it's more expensive, but you also get more access to me and to other resources. So within 5-Figure Foundation, I keep that program lean. I'm like, these are the basics. Just get your posts out. Just get the people going in your inbox. That's all we need to do. I will teach you how to convert from there. Super simple. But within 6-Figure Scaling, we include, there are So there's the six-figure essentials that I just went over, those five. But then I also have additional systems. That's where that annual plan is located. I teach you how to do financial projections, which you definitely don't need to do if you're trying to make 10K. But if you want to learn how to see how much money you brought in, that's how I know I've already made $105,000 this year, is because I know how to do financial projections. I know that I'm covered for my maternity leave. Those are the kind of things that we do within the mastermind that are definitely more advanced skills that you definitely don't need if you're in five-figure foundation. The other things I do are to teach webinars in there. I teach you how to create a group program. I teach you how to launch a group program. So I actually walk you through what my launch strategy is. I give you my emails, I give you my posts, and I actually talk you through different strategies to launch different types of programs. I teach you how to build an email list in that program. We talk about how to use domains. I talk with you about how to do freebies. I talk about how to make mini courses. There is a ton more information in there because you will need parts of that as you scale to six figures. Now, there are people who I know who do the five-figure foundation essentials and they're able to hit six figures, and it's awesome. However, I do know that there's more things that you will need if you want to hit six and multiple six figures. If you want to create like that group program and things like that, what you definitely want to do is you're going to need a bit more robust curriculum. So within that, if you want to learn how to do a webinar, if you want to learn how to pitch yourself for podcasts, if you want to learn how to make a website, we go into that, and how to do SEO, which is search engine optimization for that website. All of that's in the mastermind. You don't need any of that. If you're just trying to make your first five figures, don't worry about that. That's why I don't have it in the curriculum. But if you are trying to hit six and multiple six figures, this is where we include a website, an email list, freebies. We're talking about how to create a funnel. These are more advanced topics. And in the fall, we're going to be talking about how to do advertisements and how to hire. So these are all like very advanced topics that you don't need to make. If you're just trying to make 10K and want a side hustle, fabulous. Five-Figure Foundation is an amazing program for you. And if you do want to do more, this is where six-figure scaling can really set you apart. So that is what we have in the features. So you have a portal and you get the six-figure essentials in one portal. And then the other portal, that's where you have the additional systems like the projections, the annual plan, and all that jazz. You get just bonus systems like launching, how to make a group program, how to make a freebie, all of that. And then you also get guest speakers, like my accountant came on and talked through finances. My website designer came in and spoke about how to create your own website. All of that is in the guest speakers portion. So there's like 2 different educational courses that you can go through. There's so much content in the additional system. So we made it a whole separate thing. And you just ask me, do I need this? Where is this? And I will send it all to you from the additional systems. You don't have to watch them all. So that's a differentiator. It's more curriculum, more robust, because that's what you need. If you're just trying to make your first couple of dollars, just go ahead and get your posts out, get the messages going, and you're good. If you want to actually build an email list, if you want to make freebies, that's where the mastermind comes in. Then from there, you also, within my maternity leave, you are going to get access to that. My maternity leave is going from June until August. So just June, July, and August. But during that time, I didn't want to shut down. And my programs are both typically 12 months. And I was like, I want to give you guys more. Like for me personally, I was like, what would be like a no-brainer is if the price stayed the same and you get the bonus coaching over those 3 months, and then you get 12 months with me. So you're going to get 12 months with me within the program, but then you also end up getting 3 extra months of guest coaching and 3 extra months with the curriculum. So for so many of you, I see, and if this is you and we come back in the fall and you're like, I didn't do anything over the summer, that's okay. No harm, no foul. I still will absolutely support you in the fall if that's your situation. But I know that the summer slip is so preventable. So many coaches and anyone that is, it was like teachers, you know about the summer slip. So within summer slip, what happens for solopreneurs is they get busy. Their kids are home, they're going to camps, they're doing vacations. And so what happens is a lot of times people don't stay as consistent with their content. They lose out on this awesome pipeline of people. And something that I learned, I looked up a statistic because I'm a data girl, and 76% of people are on their phones during the summer more than any other time in the year. The other thing that's crazy is 68% of those people are buying more over the summer than any other time of the year. I didn't know that. That's something I learned literally this year, but it makes sense. I literally just brought a baby bidet. I was like, this seems like this is important. I'm about to like go and like have our child in a few weeks. So I'm like, yeah, I should totally get this. Like, I am being upsold all the time on social media, and this is when people are buying. If you make a compelling enough argument in your posting, like, hey, I can help you have the easiest, best summer yet, people will buy. People are buying over the summer more than any other time in the year. Think about how much you guys are on your phone right now. Like, just think about, like, in general, in May through August, this is the hottest time to be selling. And so many people just are like, I don't have a social media strategy. I don't really like the post that ChatGPT came up for me. So they just stopped posting. And I'm like, friends, why? This is the most important time for you to get your posts out. There's a spike in December, and there's a spike for the whole summer. You have 4 months to catch people's attention, get brand awareness, talk about your offer, and actually sell humans. This is amazing. Like, I didn't even realize that this is like the hottest time of the year. I kind of assumed that people were like, when they're traveling, they might not buy as much. But think about it. When they're in the airport, they're scrolling. When they're in the car ride to go to their in-laws' family reunion, they're scrolling. Be the person they scroll and sell to them. Be the top person that they're signing up with. That's the thing that you do in the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind, is I actually teach you how to scale and how to make your social media something that's consistent. You batch it out and then it's done. We do monthly batching and copy creation weekly within the mastermind, so you can get ahead. I am currently getting ahead for 3 months, people. I am making my content for, actually it's going to be 3.5, 14 weeks. I am going through and I am creating all of my content. So for you, you can do that, and I teach you how to do that in the mastermind, which makes your life so much easier. So that's what we do within the mastermind, is we talk about how to be the top of mind person. We really create you as a leader in your industry. I talk to you about how to make social media and lead generation simple and things like that. We also go through in the mastermind during my maternity leave. So you'll learn the tools in the modules, you'll watch them, and then you can apply them and get feedback on the live coaching calls. And if you join the mastermind, you get 3 hours of coaching a week. And if you sign up even just for a consult by Sunday, and sign up for, of course, if you actually sign up for Six-Figure Scaling, then you actually get 5-figure foundation included for the entire year. So you get 2 programs, which means that there are 4 hours of live coaching calls, an additional set of modules. You get all of that for 15 months, all the way through up until September of 2027, if you sign up now. So that's why I was like, I just need to let you guys know that this is like happening. This is a really, really, really great opportunity. If you were thinking about joining, this is just the best time to join, because you're gonna get all of this extra access. Plus, in the mastermind, you get a weekly Loom video from me. And this might change after my maternity leave, because obviously, like, I'm not gonna have as many hours that I'm gonna be able to potentially be working. So I have a list of everybody who's joined the mastermind before I do my maternity leave. And if you are on that list, you will get 52 videos, Loom videos from me, from a weekly form that you fill out during the call. So you literally get a video from me that says, hey, have you tried this month? What are you implementing this week? I think you should try this in your stories. Have you decided to do this? I think your limited time offer should be this in your webinar. Everything that you need is customized. Plus, I'm doing a monthly audit of your social media and I'm doing a monthly audit of that rainbow spreadsheet. So I'm like, hey, I know you said that you wanted 2 clients. I don't think that you did enough this month as far as lead generation goes, but I know that you're a coach for moms. So I looked in your area and I know you live in New Orleans. So I found that there are these 5 networking events. I want you to reach out to them this month. And then that's the strategy I want to try. You literally get me doing all of those audits for your business. Now, if you join after the mastermind, I'm going to have amazing contractors that after my maternity leave, I'm going to have amazing contractors that are going to be in there, that are going to be working with you. So don't worry if you're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't join before maternity leave. I'm not going to get Megan necessarily. You still will probably get me because it's going to take me a while to train that team, but it won't guaranteed be me before like what I'm guaranteeing right now. Just because again, I have to account for childcare. So that is what we're going to be doing. It's a pretty cool program. I would love to have you in there. You also get weekly feedback in the stream that you'll get for 12 months, not during my maternity leave, obviously, because I have contractors that are going to be covering for me. But I can look over anything from a website to your funnel. I've looked over entire launches. It takes me a little bit. So everything I say, you get feedback within a week. But I've literally looked over like 42 emails for people. I've looked over entire websites. And I still look over things in Foundation, but I will help you make your exact slide outline for your webinars if you want me to. I will help you make your exact freebie and I'll tell you what to say in the emails after you deliver that freebie. Everything is very much like you take what I do, I give you exactly what you need, and then you can customize it to fit your own business's needs. So that is what we do in the Six-Figure Scaling Mastermind. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be messaging you. If you were on this, I'll reach out. But I really hope that this was helpful to explain the differences between the 2 programs. If you have any more questions, also there's a guide that talks about the differences between the 2 programs and actually show you what it looks like behind the scenes when you join. So if you have any questions, keep me posted. For this one, it's Sunday at midnight Eastern. But you can also go in, and if you want to book a consult, we can meet up. I do have some times tomorrow morning, and I don't think they'll be listed because I think you have to do it 24 hours before. So we can go in and we can do a consult, and I'll still include 5-Figure Foundation and the 3 months of bonus coaching if you just book a consult. Or if you just want to sign up, I will send you the link for that too. And again, the payment options, it's $7,500 for the year, or you can break it into $650 installments too if you're interested. But yeah, keep me posted with what you're thinking. I will message you personally. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, just fantastic Friday. If you are a parent out there, have an awesome Mother's Day. And I will be seeing you guys oh so soon.